Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an idea that can literally transform a job you just put up with into a career you absolutely love, and that idea is strategic career development. We're not talking about some fluffy HR buzzword here. We're talking about a real, concrete roadmap for your professional growth and a secret weapon for any company that wants to win.
So let's just cut right to the chase with a question for you. Is your current job a dead end, or is it a launch pad? Now, you might be surprised to hear that the answer has less to do with your job title or the company you work for, and everything to do with whether there's a real, deliberate plan for your growth. Okay, so what exactly is this thing we're calling career development? Let's define it, because, spoiler alert, it's got very little to do with that dreaded annual review you have once a year. It's so much more than that.
At its heart, career development is that perfect sweet spot where what you want for your career lines up with what the company needs to succeed. It doesn't happen by accident. See those two key words, planned and ongoing? This is about a continuous conversation, a partnership that turns your personal growth into the company's success. It really is the ultimate win-win.
And hey, if you're thinking this all sounds a little abstract, just look at the jobs that exist to make it happen. We're talking talent specialists, development consultants. These are serious roles. And those salaries, they prove that companies are putting real money into getting this right. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a core business function.
Which brings us right back to that ultimate win-win. So why is this a massive strategic advantage and not just some nice-to-have employee perk? Well, let's break down exactly why it's such a game changer.
I mean, this slide says it all, right? It's this incredible, powerful feedback loop. When you, as an employee, feel like the company is investing in you, giving you clear paths to grow, new skills, you naturally feel more confident, more motivated, and the company, they get to reap all the rewards. People stick around, you get this amazing pipeline of future leaders, and the entire team becomes more innovative. Each side just keeps fueling the other. It's beautiful.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why, but how do you actually build one of these systems so that it actually works? Let's get into the core building blocks, the blueprint for growth. You can think of this as a sort of career GPS for both you and your organization.
Any really strong program is built on these 5 pillars, and they all work together. It has to start with career planning. You got to know where you're going, right? Then training is the fuel that gets you there. Mentorship, that's your experienced guide who knows all the shortcuts and best routes. Appraisals are like the regular check-ins to make sure you're still on the right path. And things like job rotations, think of those as the scenic detours that help you build amazing, unexpected skills along the way.
Now, having a blueprint is one thing, but execution, well, that's everything. So let's talk about the specific strategies that actually turn this plan into real, measurable impact on people's careers.
So how do you really bring this to life? Well, it boils down to a few brilliant strategies. First up, creating individual development plans, or IDPs. This isn't some generic one-size-fits-all goal. It's a personalized roadmap built just for you. Another huge one is using data, HR analytics, to be predictive. Instead of just waiting for a skill gap to become a huge problem, the company can actually see it coming and offer you the right training before it's even needed. It's all about being proactive instead of just reactive.
You know, this whole field is changing at lightning speed, and a huge reason for that is technology. So let's shift gears and look to the future. How is innovation getting the workforce ready for the challenges of 2026 and even further down the road?
Technology is the great accelerator in all of this. It's like this amazing toolkit that lets companies do something that used to be impossible, deliver truly personalized development to everyone at scale. You've got AI that customizes your learning path, analytics that predict what skills will be needed next. Tech is making career growth smarter, faster, and way more accessible for all of us.
Let's just zoom in on AI for a second. Seriously, think of it as a personal career tutor for every single employee. So instead of being pointed to a giant, generic library of training courses, AI actually builds a learning path just for you. It looks at your skills, your goals, and even how you like to learn. It is truly the end of one-size-fits-all training.
And then you have mind-blowing tech like virtual and augmented reality. This stuff lets you do super immersive, hands-on training in a completely risk-free space. You could practice a really complex technical procedure or navigate a tough leadership conversation, and it feels real. You're building that muscle memory without any of the real-world consequences if you mess up. How cool is that?
Okay, so all of this amazing tech and strategy sounds fantastic in theory, right? But let's be real. In the real world, there are always going to be roadblocks. getting these programs up and running isn't always a walk in the park. Budgets can be tight, some people just don't like change, and sometimes it's really tough to prove the long-term dollar value.
But for every single one of those roadblocks, there's a way around it. The absolute key is getting the leaders at the very top to champion the cause. Once you have that, it's about making career paths super clear and visible, promoting mentorship, and using tech to make it all happen. But at the end of the day, it's about building a culture where learning isn't some special event. It's just part of how you work.
This quote right here just nails it. It perfectly captures the massive shift that's happened. Career development isn't optional anymore. It's not a nice to have. It is a strategic imperative. It's what separates the companies that just survive from the ones that truly, truly thrive.
So, we'll leave you with this one final question to chew on, both for your company and for yourself. Is your organization building careers, or is it just filling jobs? Because the answer to that question, well, it changes absolutely everything.